Hi guys, I wanted to take this opportunity to welcome you to our course COM 3073 or Introduction to Communication Inquiry. This is essentially a communication research methodology course, and in it we're going to be learning about different quantitative and qualitative methods used in the communication field. Now, this course is designated as a quantitative scholarship course, so we're going to be expected to deal with a little bit of math. That's right, I said it, math. Now, you might be like me when I was an undergraduate and said to myself, but I came to the communication field to avoid math. Unfortunately, no escape here, but I will try to make that part of the semester as painless and easy for you as possible. In this video, I wanted to go ahead and introduce myself to you so we get to know each other a little bit better, but I also wanted to introduce you to the format of this course. So sit back, relax, and get to know a little bit more about COM 3073. So a hearty welcome to our course COM 3073 or Introduction to Communication Inquiry. As I previously mentioned, I'm going to provide you in this video with a brief self-introduction and overview of this course. I do have a short task that I'd like you to do as a getting to know you exercise, on which I hope you'd humor me. So here's a little bit of background information about me. My name is Dr. Bobby Tokunaga, and I have the distinct privilege of being your instructor for this communication inquiry course. I was born and raised on the island of Oahu in the state of Hawaii. For my bachelor's and master's of arts, I attended the University of Hawaii at Manoa. I then went on to get my PhD in communication and PhD minor in statistics at the University of Arizona. I worked as a faculty member for 6 years at the University of Hawaii in a department called communicology. I came here to UTSA 2 years ago and have been enjoying my time ever since. I primarily teach communication inquiry and graduate level statistics courses for the communication department here. My research area is situated in the dark side of internet participation. So in my research, I address topics such as internet addiction and bad habits, interpersonal online surveillance, cyberbullying and cyberstalking, and internet pornography use. My contact information is listed here. I put my office information down, but you may not be able to make your way to my office this semester. Instead, the best way to contact me is through my email, and I'm more than happy to meet with you through Blackboard Collaborate. I've provisionally listed my office hours here, but I'm very happy to meet with you outside of these hours if your schedule doesn't permit these times. With this being a virtual class, my schedule is very flexible. So now that you know a little bit more about me, I'd really like to get to know you a little bit better. This is of course an online asynchronous course, which often means that in some people's minds there's very little instructor immediacy or contact. But I don't necessarily buy into that argument as an instructor of an online class. I'd prefer to get to know you a little bit better and see how we can capitalize on your strengths and wipe out any concerns or fears you have about this course or semester. To this end, I'd like you to send me an email giving me a brief self-introduction. It doesn't have to be long, and definitely don't get caught up in making it sound grammatically perfect. I just want to know a few things about you. First, I want you to tell me anything about you that you'd like me to know. Any preferred names that you want me to call you if we meet during office hours, and any preferred pronouns. Second, I want you to tell me about any fears or reservations you have about this course. This is, after all, a quantitative scholarship course that is being taught fully online this semester. So some people might get a little anxious about these things associated with these qualities of this course. So let me know about them. Third, I want to know why you chose to become a communication major if you are a communication major, or why you chose to take this course if you aren't a major. After you're done answering all these questions, all you have to do is hit the send button and you're done with the first mini assignment. The text we'll be using for this course is Joanne Keaton's Communication Research, Asking Questions, Finding Answers, 5th edition. Keaton does a good job of coverage on the quantitative and qualitative side of communication research in this book, something very few communication research books do well. I did a little bit of research, no puns intended, and found out that the book can be purchased through various purveyors. For instance, on Amazon, there's an option to rent or buy the book. The most economical way to acquire the text would be to rent an e-version of the book. The Campus Bookstore and McGraw-Hill, the publisher of this text, also sells the book. A quick word about this book. I remember a lot of times when I, as an undergraduate student, would purchase hundreds of dollars of books only to never crack them open during the course of the semester. As I progressed through college, I just stopped buying the book because the instructors rarely use them. This is not one of those times. I will rely heavily on the readings and the weekly videos when making questions for the weekly quizzes. Therefore, my recommendation would be to buy the book quickly and stay on top of the readings. You'll notice on the first page of the syllabus a section called Student Learning Outcomes. Frankly, when I was a student, I could not have cared less about this section. But let me tell you why it's important. The reality of being a student with so many courses and obligations outside of school is that you aren't going to remember everything in this course. When I was a student, I would remember glossing over the first 2 or so pages of the syllabus without giving them much consideration. The reason I highlight the student learning outcomes in this video is to make the point that I get it, you're not going to remember everything in this course. But here's the stuff that we all, as a faculty, need you to take from this course. I can't overstate the importance of student learning outcomes. Because these are the most important concepts in the course we all agree you ought to know at the end of this course, we need to ensure that you know them. What does that mean? That means I will, in some way, whether it's through the papers, discussions, or quizzes, evaluate you on your knowledge of these learning outcomes to ensure that you know them when you're leaving this course. So I would recommend paying close attention to them because they're really important. Here are just a few quick notes about our course policy. Com 3073 this semester is being delivered fully online. There's no set meeting time, so I'll be leading you through this sometimes dense material through these online videos. One thing I'll continue to say during this semester is that you must take an active role in your learning, probably more so this semester than any of the previous ones. Communication inquiry is truly a valuable course and one that can help you tremendously in your future careers. But unlike interpersonal communication or digital communication, it's really not that intuitive. So it's going to be important to maintain communication with me whenever you find concepts to be a little murky. To that end, attendance will not be taken at all during the semester. The only form of attendance that will be taken is through weekly quizzes on Blackboard and the short assignments. Every assignment in this course has a deadline which is reflected in the course calendar on the syllabus. The deadlines are fixed and late work will not be accepted beyond these deadlines unless of course something unexpected comes up. So please make sure that when you're submitting an assignment for this class, you provide yourself with enough time to account for any hiccups in the plan. For instance, it would be unwise to wait until 11:30 p.m. on Sunday to do all of your quizzes. You just never know what might come up. I won't say much about academic dishonesty except please don't cheat or plagiarize. You and I will get most out of this course if you put in your best effort and submit your genuine work. The last thing that I or any of my friends will happily admit is that I am not without fault. I will provide a rubric for each assignment, and if you think I overlooked a part of your submission where you deserved more points, just tell me. If you write an appeal, I'll consider your argument and respond in a timely manner. You'll be responsible for completing one short quiz for each module. The quiz, which looks like what you see in front of you, will cover the reading for that module and/or content delivered through the online video. The quizzes will be posted for the week by the Monday of each week, with the exception, of course, of week 1 to account for the holiday. Here are a couple of notes about the quizzes. First, a quiz for a given module is going to be very short, only 6 questions. It's imperative that you read each question very carefully. Most of the questions will be application. Very few will be purely definitional, so please be prepared to apply the concepts you learned to real-world situations. The quizzes are timed because otherwise it wouldn't test your knowledge on what you've learned or gained from the readings or videos, only how well you can look up information. You'll have 20 minutes for each attempt, which from past semesters seems to be the ideal amount of time for a short 6-question quiz. Third, I know that sometimes taking quizzes can be very anxiety-provoking, especially when they're done online. To account for some of that difficulty, you can take a quiz for each module up to 2 times and I'll record the better attempt. Of course, if you get a favorable score on your first attempt, you won't need to take it again. Finally, each quiz is worth 3% of your overall grade, so I encourage you to take them seriously. This means take notes from both your readings and videos and study them prior to taking these quizzes. The next major part of your final grade will be the short assignments that I've assigned periodically during the semester. Descriptions of the short assignments will be available in the assignments folder of the contents tab on Blackboard. I know the term short assignments is fairly generic, but it's meant to be because the assignments are so varied. The first short assignment will be on creating research questions or hypotheses amenable to quantitative analysis. In the second short assignment, you'll be asked to define a concept and find a measure on it. The third will be related to critiquing a measure and adding additional questions to them. The fourth will be doing some very light mathematical calculations, and the last will be about semi-structured interviews. The short assignments in total will be 35% of your overall grade. And in the last major assignment, I'll ask you to put all of the things you learned into one final project. In this project, you'll address a relationship between 2 or more variables of interest in the community to you. It could be any relationship so long as it relates in some way to communication. For instance, you could do a small study about the relationship between physical attractiveness and college GPA. Or you can do a project on the relationship between narcissism and the number of TikTok videos created. Anything is fair game so long as it's related to communication. Once you collect the data through some online questionnaire platform, you will analyze the data based on the tools I provide you with, and you will write the data up in either a newspaper article form or press release form. It's your choice what direction you want to choose. That's pretty much all I have for this welcome video, and I hope you found it helpful. We covered a lot of things available to you in the course syllabus. We covered my self-introduction, the first really mini assignment, the course text. I drew attention to the student learning outcomes, the course policies, and the major assignments. One thing I forgot to mention is that I'll be providing a few example questions for the quizzes at the end of each module, so I hope that reduces some of your anxiety on the quiz front. If you have any questions, big or small, please don't hesitate to email me and I'll be sure to get back to you in a timely manner. Have a great first week of the summer semester.